Any views or opinions expressed on KUR are not necessarily those of Kutztown University, Kutztown University Student Government, Kutztown University Student Services Incorporated, KUR staff and management, or other affiliated organizations.
Kutztown Live. Kutztown University Campus's campus and community interest radio magazine. You can call Kutztown Live at 610-683-4859. And now, your host for Kutztown Live, Juliana Jablonski.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community talk show. I am your host, Juliana Jablonski. Today we have two guests here. We have our reoccurring guest, Lori D'Onofrio-Galli from the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce. She is always keeping us up to date about all the things going on in the chamber. And as always, she has brought along with her a special guest. Today she brought in Al Delau from ARC Point Labs in Reading. Hello and good afternoon to both of you. Thank you both for coming in today.
Well, thank you, Juliana. I'm glad to see you on such a beautiful, sunny, warm day.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy the weather is getting warm.
It's a good thing. It is. Well, I have some updates from the chamber today, as I always do, before I introduce Al and we talk about ARC Point Labs of Reading. I would like to introduce 3 new members to our chamber. These were approved last week by our board of directors, and those would be Sweet Home Healthcare from Scranton, which is opening a facility in the Lehigh Valley, John Whitehall, Sandler Training from Wyomissing, and Greg Schweitzer, Stress Reduction Resources from West Lawn. We welcome those new members to our chamber, and for more information about how to join, visit us at www.northeastberkschamber.com. We have a few events coming up in the next few months at the end of our chamber season. First, I'd like to announce our next 2 breakfast meetings. On April 21st, which is a Friday, we will be hosting Kim Stout from the Small Business Administration in King of Prussia. She is the Economic Development and Lender Relations Specialist. That breakfast meeting is sponsored by Antonavage Farbiars. That's Russell Farbiars, the president of our Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce. We will also have on the agenda that day a student recognition program, and we will be hearing from one of our nonprofit partners. That happens on the 3rd Friday of every month, starting at 7:30 in the morning, and we will be hosted by East Penn Manufacturing and their conference center, and that's in Lyons. The following month will be our last breakfast meeting of the season. We will have an education forum on the topic of internships within our Northeast Berks school districts. Elite Business Solutions is the sponsor, and that meeting will be held on May 19th, as I said, at the Lyons Fire Company. And we will also hear from nonprofit partner, the Kutztown Area Historical Society. So those are a few of the events that are coming up. And our guest today, Al Delau, will actually be participating in one of our new working lunch programs that will be held on June 21st here in Kutztown at the Main Street Inn. And Al will be joined by 3 other member panelists on the topic of protecting your business. To register for the lunch, to register for breakfast or for mixers or any of our other activities or events, again, please visit us at northeastberkschamber.com and you can do a secure online registration. Juliana, today, as we said, we have Al Delau. He and his wife, Anne Marie, are the business owners of ARC Point Labs, located at 2208 Quarry Drive in West Lawn, behind Austin's. And ARC Point Labs has been a member of the Northeast Berks Chamber since December. So they are newer members, and they've already gotten involved and engaged in some ambassador activities and some directory distribution, etc. So, again, I introduce Al, and you can tell us about your business. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Juliana, for having me out here on this beautiful day. I'd rather be outside than in here, but we'll make it work for us. ARC Point Labs, as Lori mentioned, we're located in West Lawn. behind Austin's restaurant. We've been open a little over a year and a half, and our focus is on drug-free workplace programs for employers, as well as providing drug testing services for the community. In addition to our drug testing services, we also provide relationship DNA testing, background screening, as well as support to the Department of Transportation regulated community. In terms of what we do at ArcPoint, we test. We ask our clients to come in, and we will provide them solutions in terms of what sort of drugs that they are looking to detect. We'll talk to them about the range of detection in terms of time. We'll also work with them in terms of developing policies and procedures. And truthfully, we've become an expert in being able to give our clients the best counsel and best tests that suits their needs. In addition to the employers, as I mentioned, we do community-based testing. We'll work with people that may be in a court program, or just people that just want to know if one of their loved ones may be on a substance or a drug or alcohol. Our lab is confidential. We're not required to report to insurance companies, your doctor. Again, the results are between you and the testing lab and us. So if you're looking for a knowledge base, you don't have to worry about it following your permanent record. Some of the services we offer in terms of testing, the standard is urine testing, but many times people don't understand that urine testing only looks back about 2 to 5 days. So we also offer hair testing and fingernail testing. Hair testing can look at substances in your systems up to 90 days after use. Fingernails can look out as somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 9 months. And if we test your toenails, we can look for substances up to a year. So there truly is a way to find out, if you've been using or abusing drugs beyond the typical 2 to 5 days.
Oh. Al, you mentioned the Department of Transportation. Are you certified to provide some of those services for that industry?
Yes, Lori. In addition to providing the DOT-mandated drug testing, which is a urine sample, we also provide DOT physicals. We also are able to provide DOT breath alcohol testing on site. We also provide support services to drivers in our companies, including consortium management. We will provide random testing. We'll also come on site if there's a situation that a company or a client needs immediate attention. We can come on site and take care of them. We provide supervisor training seminars and courses that are also mandated by the DOT.
I know when I drive to work each week, I often hear your wife, Anne Marie, on WEEU. There's some advertising that you've purchased there, talking about DNA testing and court-ordered testing.
Yes, the DNA testing is a very simple test. We provide relationship DNA. So if you need information regarding paternity, relationship, to a sister or a brother or an uncle or an aunt, we have the ability to do those tests. And the tests are very simple. We basically swab the inside of the people's mouths. We collect the samples under what they call a chain of custody, which is a traceable document. And then the samples are sent to an accredited DNA lab, at which point they will provide results, usually in 2 to 3 business days. And then what you get back is a court-admissible document in most cases, which can be then used for custody issues or inheritance issues. Again, the document is notarized and signed by a doctor and is considered court-admissible. In terms of the other side of our business, which was, what was the...
court-ordered testing?
Court-ordered testing, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We work closely with the courts as well as the attorneys involved in different cases. We provide, again, same thing, drug drug testing that's certified and normally signed by a doctor. The tests that we provide can be urine testing, hair testing is becoming more popular, and we've done fingernail testing. We had a client earlier this year that came in. We did a nail sample and a hair sample, and we were able to provide the court with a history in terms of when that client was, for lack of a better word, off the drugs. So, it's important to recognize that when you come to ArcPoint Labs, we're not just about doing a test. We're trying to find the right solution that will help you through whatever situation you're trying to manage through.
I've also noticed that at ArcPoint Labs that you do rather regularly community outreach. So health fairs, you visit schools. What types of outreach have you done recently? And if a school or an organization wants to reach out to you, how can they get in contact with you?
Anne Marie is our forward-facing part of the business, my co-owner and wife. She manages quite a bit of those types of contacts, so you're welcome to give us a call at our office. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. Our phone number is 484-926-2505, or you can reach us at arcpointlabs.com/Reading, PA. And just ask for Anne Marie, and she'll be happy to discuss with you what she's been doing. She recently participated in a health fair at Daniel Boone. That was within the last week. We've also participated at some health fairs in the Reading School District, Wilson, and Exeter school districts.
Well, thank you for that information, Al. My last question relates to, I believe you're working with county commissioners on a project. Is that correct?
Yes. Commissioner Barnhart recently commissioned an opioid task force, which is focused on trying to come up with solutions and ways to overcome this opioid crisis that's basically emerged, not only Berks County, but the country as a whole. So I serve in one of Kevin's subcommittees in the Education Committee. So our committee looks at ways to basically bring the opioid issue forward and not only tell you that we have a problem, but how can you deal with it? Number one, educate people in terms of what the drug situation might be, how it's caused, warning signs. We're also looking at ways to target the biggest at-risk groups. People don't realize this, but the opioid crisis is hitting the population across the board, but the biggest population is the age 30 to 39. So we're looking at ways to deliver a message to that group and also educate them, as well as let them know there are people and resources available in our community that can help them through this terrible disease.
Well, I'm sure that any business, large or small, who is interested in doing this kind of testing can reach out to you and your organization, no matter where they are throughout Berks County, if they need this kind of resource. Thank you very much, Al.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you to the folks here in Kutztown for having me
I just have
here
a
today.
quick question, maybe or two, before you head out, more, I guess, on you. But I guess, how did you get interested in this field, and when did you start all of this?
Well, Juliana, that's an interesting question. I'm, as you can see, but your viewers can't. I'm an older gentleman. I'm about 55 years old. I worked in industry for most of my career, and then, like so many things that happen in this world, I was set aside, and I was looking for an opportunity, something totally different from what I've had experience in, and so I actually came across a franchise consultant. And a franchise consultant sat down with me and worked with us on the things that we like to do, the things we didn't like to do, some businesses we might be interested in. And he provided us with 5 or 6 different opportunities that he thought would be of interest to us. And so we looked very closely at these opportunities. One thing that caught our eye when we were sitting down with him was that 80% of the franchises that are out in the world today are still in business 3 years later, which is a powerful statement in terms of business. And that definitely piqued my interest. As we looked through the opportunities, we felt that the franchise model that ArcPoint offered was something that we could, number one, thrive in, and number two, be able to help the community and the workplace at large. So we joined the franchise group in March of 2015. We opened in October of 2015, and we've been on this trail ever since. ArcPoint Labs as a franchise has been around for a little over 10 years. We have over 100 locations nationwide. In addition to the location here in Reading, I should mention we also have locations in Limerick, Doylestown, Central City, Philadelphia. We just opened a location in Wilmington, and we're getting ready to open a location in King of Prussia later on this year. So as you can see, it's not just about Reading, but we have a tremendous organization behind us that's growing.
And for you, what does a typical workday consist of for you? What all do you do?
I basically, as I mentioned, Anne Marie is a forward and outward person. She's out in the community working with the business leaders as well as the community at large to try to grow our business. And I work the inside. I basically maintain the lab protocols, coordinate the sampling and the testing. I'll also take care of the books and make sure that all our creditors and bankers are happy at the end of the day. But my typical day, Juliana, starts at about 7 o'clock in the morning. We open at 8:30, so I spend the first hour and a half basically making sure we take care of our clients as well as all the other administrative stuff that an office requires. And then usually at 5 o'clock I'm able to shut down, take a little break, and then I will do a little bit of work in the evening. The nice thing about our business is that it's a busy place, but it's not to the point where you're 24/7 on it. I have found ways to be able to balance it and keep my work life and my personal life somewhat separate.
All right. And before we close out today, do you want to just say again what that email is to contact you and that phone number?
Sure, I'd be happy to, Juliana. Again, our ArcPoint Labs of Reading is located in West Lawn, 2208 Quarry Drive, Suite 207. As a landmark, we're located behind Austin's Restaurant off of Van Reed Road. We're open 8:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, or we can come in for a special appointment if those times don't work. Our phone number is 484-926-2505. And again, our website, arcpointlabs.com/Reading, PA, arcpointlabs.com/Reading, PA.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today. Before I go, I was like, I have to tell Lori that I went to Mad Dog's finally just yesterday.
You did? And which dog did you order?
I had the Plain Jane and a Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was like, I was texting my mom about it that I went, and she was like, oh, you talk about that on the radio. And
yes.
I was like, I'll have to let her know. Well, thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you.
Al Delau, for coming to speak to us and tell us a bit about what you do with ArcPoint Labs. And thank you again to Lori D'Onofrio-Galli for coming in today. We'll see you again in 2 weeks, and I do believe that may be the last time you'll be here with me for the rest of the year, if I'm correct. But because it is soon finals in less than a month.
I will miss you during the summer.
Oh, yeah.
But just so you know, if I may chime in as your producer, we are going to continue these segments all summer with me as the host. So these will not go away.
These will not go away. I will, though.
But you'll be back in the fall.
Yes.
All right, great.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Juliana.